Ba, ba, na, 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 na. Ba, ba, na, 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 na. Ba, na, 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 na.
Dale, you're gonna need to see this.
What's up? Some giant monster or something attack Tokyo again? Cause you know that's not really my.
No, it's not that. We got a review to do.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, come on, Jake. I was in the middle of something.
Wait, really? I'm sorry, I thought you were just chilling to, like, I don't know, Flux Pavilion or something.
It was Knife Party, thank you very much. But seriously, there's no way one of these reviews could be that important.
Babe, trust me on this one.
Okay, fine. Who are we covering?
Ed Sheeran. Wait, Dale!
Why in the fuck would I ever give that acoustic guitar wannabe Jason Mraz the time of day? I mean, sure, the A-Team is pretty good, but after thinking out loud, look, he's just another acoustic guitar fuckboy, only difference that he's from English prep school instead of one in Connecticut. Chances are that he's either going to be doing some generic acoustic shit, or randomly throwing his voice on a genre that he doesn't know anything about.
Dale, I'm serious. There's a damn good reason I picked this song out to review.
Name it. Give me that one good reason for me to waste my breath on this absolute... Is he wearing what I think he's wearing?
Yep. Figured you'd take it personal.
Alright, this better be good, Ed. Hold it. I've heard this before.
Yeah, it does sound kind of generic. And damn, it sounds like it was from like the 2010s when the tropical house thing was everywhere.
Or like a bastardization of it, but sure. But that's not even what I mean. It sounds older than that. A lot older.
I guess he was going for like an 80s vibe then? I don't know.
Yeah, 80s. That sounds right. Jake, could you talk about the lyrics for a little bit? I've got to go check on something.
I don't think Ed Sheeran broke in your closet, babe.
Okay, two things. Just keep this covered for me for a minute or two, okay, sweetie?
Okay, sure. You know, interesting thing we brought up the 80s vibes, because another song that intentionally rocks that vibe comes to mind when thinking about how to analyze the lyrics, and that'd be Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. I think Boon's talked about him once or twice. Anyway, much like that song, this one seems to be from the perspective of a drug addict, but doesn't really go to the same route with it, which kind of serves to the detriment of the song. See, when Abel seems to be describing the high he's got this subtle hints of awareness of how it negatively affects him. Ed seems to be accentuating knowing it's wrong and the negatives, like he's trying to quit when he can't. Or something like that. But when you put that with what it's supposed to be a party song, it doesn't really work as well. And that was where Dale was supposed to come in with.
I found it! 1984, Bronski Beats, Small Town Boy. Listen to this.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds,
Very, very similar, yeah. Turns out I do know a thing or two about this song, and how a lot of music publications compared it to Small Town Boy when it came out. Listening to them side by side here, I mean, it's definitely the same chord progression, and maybe the same notes being played, but, well, I mean, the placement of those notes shows how different they are. Small Town Boy pauses on the 4th and 7th quavers of the measure, while Bad Habits pauses on the 2nd, 5th, and 8th quavers.
the what?
Quavers are 8th notes. I used the British term to make it sound less confusing because I was talking about the placement in a measure.
Oh.
So, yeah, on the specific accusations of copying or plagiarism, I'm going to defend the songwriters on that one. Doesn't mean this is good, though. I mean, it doesn't really progress, does it? Just does the same thing over and over again. Now, that's not necessarily a problem. Heatwaves did that too, and you didn't hear me complaining about that. And this one even does more by dropping the bass at the chorus, but... well, it's hard to quantify generic objectively. I think the Tropical House comment Jake explains this pretty well, although I'd like to add that it sounds like a store-brand version of Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer to my ears.
I mean, I guess in some ways it kind of plays like the remix to I Took a Pill in Ibiza by Mike Posner then, using an EDM instrumental with lyrics about a lifestyle the singer regrets in order to accentuate the depressive mode, something like that.
Not really. The producers here never really hit the energy that Seed pulls off. In addition, comparing to EDM actually brings up why Ed Sheeran, of all people, isn't pulling this off. Ed Sheeran tends to function very well when his voice is placed over more complex percussive instrumentals. While this has kick drums and snares, it pretty much does a typical EDM kick snare pattern with them when they get brought out. I call him wannabe Jason Mraz because he was originally presented as an acoustic guitar guy who could actually do more complex percussive things. So he presented along hip-hop pretty prevalently. So, the standard techno progression isn't doing it for me.
I think that's the biggest issue with the song. Nothing really resonates together. The music video is supposed to be this wild thing too, and the music in question is incredibly controlled, so that wild moments just feel awkward and out of place.
And in a few cases, you have things that are so awkward, I have a hard time imagining it wasn't done on purpose in order to get people talking about it. I mean, the balloon thing? Why the balloon thing other than that exact reason?
Yeah, and I guess the vampire thing kind of suits what he's talking about in the song, like being a different person at night and all that.
But all the other vampires end up burning up in the sun. He just turns into bland-ass regular Ed Sheeran again. Even after he deflated the normal version of himself earlier. Like, the whole thing just doesn't end up making sense either.
Well, at least the lyrics are cohesive.
Of course they are, as long as he's not just thinking out loud. Ed Sheeran typically is, but that doesn't mean this song isn't a musical train wreck. But, I looked up something and I found a problem with that too.
Yeah? What's that?
Isn't the point supposed to be a reflection of how he wants to curb these bad habits and be there for his pregnant wife?
It is? I mean, I mentioned something how it seems like he's trying to quit, but it doesn't really mention anything about him stopping. Just mentions that he knows is bad.
Yeah, no, they sure as hell don't. I mean, arguably, it's being presented as what he does at night being a negative, sure, but it's,
kind of a shallow version of that when you consider that this is supposed to be a motivation to move away from it. It'd be like if Dua Lipa said that she can't follow new rules. It don't really work that well.
Look, this song was supposedly Ed Sheeran trying to do something different and unexpected to try to shake the image of being an acoustic guitar guy. But he never really was pinned as being that one-dimensional to begin with, despite my jokes. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for experimentation with an artist's sound. It's great to see an artist step out of their comfort zone. But part of that involves being willing to admit when said experiment doesn't work. And in this case, I would argue that the experiment did not.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you not want to talk about Ed Sheeran a minute ago? Babe?
Ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ba, 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 da, ba.